Can you feel the heat as we continue the journey to NXT Heat Wave? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. I believe this was the second NXT show under the new management of Triple H, and it was the second week in a row where I actually felt a little bit underwhelmed by NXT. Now, yes, it was better than last week's, but let's be real, last week's was shit. But I felt this week's missed a lot of the segments that I enjoy, especially the wee vignettes, stuff with Chase U, stuff with Tony D, stuff with Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. The good stuff. Give me the good shit, brother. Even stuff with Toxic Attraction and Wendy Chu. Just give me some good shit. Now, there was some okay stuff in the show. It wasn't a bad show by any means, but again, it's 2 weeks in a row now where I feel like the focus has been more on the in-ring wrestling rather than the actual promo, the actual building of characters, character development. And I know a lot of people in the past have complained about NXT 2.0. Oh, the matches are too short. And I can kind of see that it changing. I can see the brand changing, especially now with Triple H in charge. They tend to be going for the longer matches. And, I mean, do we really care about 15-minute matches? About characters that aren't properly built up? No, we don't. I don't know why we want 15-minute... To me, a 15-minute match on TV should be rare. I mean, save that shit for the pay-per-view. TV match, like, the only... Maybe a 15-minute main event on TV is fair enough. But everything else, I think, should be shorter. I mean, that's how it was really in the Attitude Era, and that was the best era of all time, so why not just copy that formula? It makes sense to me, but we kick off with the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way match, and it's no surprise to me that the team that wins is the smarkiest team of the four, the team that get the pop by, the fucking generic NXT fanboys in the crowd, the This Is Awesome crowd. That's the team that got the pop, that's the team that got the win. They come out and the crowd are going, making some fucking retarded noise, and that's their gimmick. And now they come out on the top of the ramp and they've got like wee guns, and the guns are like blowing smoke, and it's like you couldn't get two more boring generic bastards if you tried. Now, in terms of work rate, is this the best team in the match? Maybe. In terms of in-ring ability, but fucking ring ability, they're boring. They're characterless. I mean, one of them is like an Ember Moon ripoff, and the other one's just a skinny bitch that's going absolutely nowhere. How she got a DLC spot in the latest 2K game, honestly, I don't know. But they win. They get the final fall by beating Toxic Attraction. Toxic Attraction should have held on to the belts, in my opinion. The team of Ivy Nile, who I cannot stand, and that other person is just... It's not even a team, let's be real. They've been teaming up for 2 weeks. And the other team I've actually never heard of. So it's no surprise to me that the team I didn't even know existed got eliminated first. But yeah, it was Toxic Attraction and the winners at the end. And they beat them with a splash off the top rope neckbreaker kind of thing. 450 neckbreaker. I mean, who cares? They celebrate with it. They celebrate in the crowd. And I think if McMahon's in charge, Toxic Attraction probably start their third reign. And so they should. Just look at Gigi Dolan's ass. Why shouldn't they be starting their third reign? But no, we get the reign of the boring fucking two that, they can wrestle, but that's all they can do. That's all they've got. That's their package. Never mind the total package. They're a package made up of one fucking element. And it's not like they're great in the ring. They're just a bit better than all the other green women in NXT. But yeah, I don't want to take up, 10 minutes of this opening fid with a rant about the team that won the tag champs with Caden Chance and Carter Caden or some pish like this. I don't care what they're called. I'm not going to waste too much more time going over it, but wrong decision in my opinion. Then we get the schism with the Joe this stable is fucking horrendous. What was wrong with Gacy and Harland? That Harland guy looked like a fucking freak of nature. People compare him to the next Brock Lesnar. I wouldn't go that far, but he was this big tall guy that legit looked like a fucking serial killer. He legit looked like he would take you down a dark alley, either rip your head off, rape you, or fucking, I don't know, molest you, something. Or maybe he would just, be homeless and fucking share a kebab with you or something. I don't know, but he looked like a guy that you wouldn't want to meet at night, right? That's what he looked like. These two new guys are with Joe Gacy actually look like they belong in, and not in like, they're violent kind of way, but they look like they're retarded, man. They do. They look like they belong in some mental institution, but not in like a scary way, not like a cane belonging in a mental institution. They just look as if, they're not right. Their eyes are all over the place. They can't even look straight. Yeah, they just look like they're missing chromosomes or missing something, man. I wish they were missing from the show, but unfortunately they weren't. Joe Gacy says that he is going to teach these guys. There was a funny part of this interview, though, where the backstage interviewer asked, one of the cowboy guys, the one that's a virgin, she asked, who's next in terms of who they facing next for the titles, and he turned around and says, I don't know who's next, I don't even know who's first. So, I mean, I thought that was pretty funny, but they get challenged to a match with Joe Gacy, who cares? Then we get Carmelo Hayes in our North American Championship Open Challenge. He says whoever gets into the ring first gets the title shot. We get Finchy coming out. Finchy's going to get in. And just before he enters the ring, we get Nathan Fraser runs out, runs past him, jumps into the ring. He gets the title shot. Wade Barrett can't believe it. Vic Joseph says, that's the rules. Whoever gets in the ring first. Wade Barrett says, no, it isn't. It's whoever comes out from behind the curtains first. And Vic Joseph says, I'm surprised with those ears you couldn't hear it properly. And again, Vic Joseph. I like the team of Vic Joseph and Wade Barrett, man. They coexist enough, and they also banter and rib each other enough that it works. There is a bit of animosity between them sometimes, but it doesn't overshadow the show or anything like that. So yeah, no, it's a good. I mean, obviously, but Wade Barrett's the colour heel guy, and Vic Joseph is the announcer face guy. But I think it's a good combination. I like them both. Nathan Fraser wins with the top rope Faymaster when Finchy gets up and pushes Nathan Fraser off the top rope. So yeah, interesting. Then we get Braun Breaker and JD McDonough signing the contract. McDonough says he sees fear in Braun Breaker's eyes. Braun Breaker's like, I'll show you fear. I'll sign that in a heartbeat. So Braun Breaker gets the contract, sign it. Then JD McDonough's like, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. And he stabs himself with a pen and then signs the contract in ink. Then he offers his bloody finger to Braun Breaker to shake. Braun Breaker doesn't want to shake. Braun Breaker just raises his title in there. I thought it was a bit shit, not going to lie. Then we get Apollo Crews wishing the Creed brothers good luck. Nothing here. Then we get Saray versus Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose retains. Pretty much retained out of nowhere with a big beautiful knee to the fucking face. I'd let Mandy knee me in the face any day of the week. But yeah, she wins. Non-title match, of course. Then at the end of the match, she fucking threw some really shit steel chairs. And honestly, if you don't know how to throw a steel chair, if it's going to look this bad, then just don't do it. Surely at the end, when she gets backstage, someone's got to say to her, what the fuck were you doing out there? That looked awful. Unless, we live in a world now where, that would be mansplaining, or, a man can't criticize a woman, or I don't know how it works, but that is some of the worst steel chair swinging I have fucking ever seen. That is embarrassing. So, Mandy Rose, don't pick up a chair again. If you need a seat, you can just sit in my face, but don't pick up a steel chair again. We then got a wee segment with Tiffany Stratton, just focusing on her athleticism, and says that she's a winner, everyone else is a loser. She felt bad when she got eliminated from the Battle Royal because she's not a loser. Blah blah blah. She says that Wendy Choo said the next time they meet it's going to be ugly, but Stratton says she doesn't believe this because everything she does is pretty, and that was kind of it. It was alright. Tiffany Stratton's hot. It was an okay wee segment. It was alright. Then we get Duke Hudson telling Axiom he doesn't belong here, and I fucking 100% agree. Duke Hudson looks about 2 feet taller than this guy. But then they have a match and Axiom beats him, so then it makes it look like Duke Hudson doesn't belong here. I feel like this Duke Hudson guy, I didn't really appreciate him when, that woman was around. I forget her name, the hot woman in Dexter, and they had that angle. I didn't really appreciate Duke Hudson back then, but now I actually realise this guy is pretty entertaining. And it's just a shame because those four worked really well together. And I just feel like since then, he's kind of been lost in the shuffle. And he just seems to be jobbing out to people now. But no, I think the guy's got potential. We then have Wes Lee challenging Trick Williams to a rounds match. No idea what this is. Half wrestling, half submission, half boxing. Some fucking weird shit. I do not know. Then we get Roxanne Perez, and she cuts a segment / promo backstage, video packages included. Basically just saying how she got here to NXT. how Cora Jade's her best friend, or was her best friend, but now she's done with Cora Jade and she's challenges Cora Jade to a heatwave match, and this was really good. I liked this. It showed Roxanne Perez's and Cora Jade's history, and it's good. I mean, Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez. Imagine if you were a lucky guy and managed to get a threesome with these two, man. You could die a happy man, I tell you that right now. Then we get the Creed brothers versus Tony D and Stacks. Tony D is about to win. He's getting the call. What do you call it, man? The crowbar. Then the next minute out of nowhere, Santos Escobar returns, holds onto the crowbar, doesn't allow Tony D to use it, then smashes him in the face with the knocks. This allows the Creed brothers to retain, and the Creed brothers hold on to the NXT titles, and it looks like the Fantasma El Latasmo is no longer part of the Tony D faction. We then get Mandy Rose backstage with a proposal to Cora Jade. Mandy Rose says that Cora Jade should take out the challenger. I think her name's like Tony Starks or something, whatever. The ugly looking one that looks like a man. They're supposed to face Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose says if Cora Jade takes her out, then the runner-up of the Battle Royal will be the new number contender. And then she can face Mandy Rose at the pay-per-view. Cora Jade hits Mandy Rose's title with her bat, taps it a couple of times, says, I'll think about it, little girl, and then walks off. Cora Jade looking extra hot tonight. She looks extra hot every week, but especially this week, she looked good. What else did we have? Brooke Jensen versus Joe Gacy. Win for Joe Gacy. So not surprised. Next, then we had Tony D and Santos Escobar backstage. Tony D upset Escobar's cost him 2 titles. Santos Escobar upset that Tony D put him in hospital, tried to end his career. These two agree that they can never work for each other, or work under each other, or work together. So next week is going to be, or the week after, I don't know, sooner, but in a couple weeks' time, we're going to get these two going one-on-one. This rivalry's been really good. It's been great, and I'm looking forward to see who comes out on top. So next week, all the factions are going to be done. All the factions are going to be put to one side. The family's put to one side, and it's going to be Tony D versus Santos Escobar. Then we got Albert Fire versus Lash Legend. Lash Legend, I actually think, is pretty good. Not in the ring, I think she's still green, but character-wise, she seems ahead of... she's a lot better talker than a lot of the women on the main roster. Not that that would be hard, but she is. I think she should be pushed more, to be honest. She's got the size, she's a big girl, and I don't mean like fat or nothing, but physically she is big, and we can see that WWE have wanted that in the recent future, like over the last 5-6 years. Charlotte Flair, out of the horsewomen, she was the biggest and she was like pushed the most. Then the next crop that came up, it was Rhea Ripley that got pushed. And if you look at the next crop of women, I could honestly see it being Raquel Gonzalez that gets pushed. So WWE seem to be going in a direction where they want a bigger, taller, physical looking woman. So I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know, to me Lash Legend fits that bill, but for some reason she jobs out every week, so who knows. We then had Trick Williams explain what a rounds match was. There was a bunch of hot women, their car broke down. They asked, can they hotwire the car or jumpstart the car? 2 black guys, can you jumpstart the car? Can you hotwire the car? Racism. Maybe Vince McMahon is still running these shows, who knows. Anyway, they fixed the car and asked her if they got any jump leads. Then we get Nikita Lyons saying she isn't changing, blah, blah, blah. Fuck Nikita Lyons. She's got a big ass, but that's pretty much it. That's where her journey ends, really. Then we had the main event time. Solo Sikoa versus Von Wagner in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Interesting match. Brawled all through the ring. Brawled through the back. Brawled out in the parking lot. Eventually made it back to the ring, and Solo Sikoa with a big diving headbutt from the top rope to the outside through the announce table, and he just managed to get fingertips on his opponent and pick up the victory. So big win for Solo Sikoa. Overall, man, it was a pretty good... It was an okay show. It wasn't good, but it was okay. It did enough for me. There were some things I enjoyed more than others. The main event was pretty good. I liked that. What else was good? The Tony D Santos phone call conversation was really short, but it was good while it lasted. I thought the Roxanne Perez thing, where she spoke about Cora Jade, was good. That was it really. Yeah, it was okay. You know what? I'll give this show I'll give it a 3 out of 10. It was alright. It wasn't my favourite NXT, but at the same time, it wasn't fucking horrendous or anything like that. So yeah, guys, I'm giving that 3 out of 10. Let us know what you think down below in the comments. Be back for the next wrestling review, probably AEW Dynamite. So yeah, maybe watch that tonight, review that tonight. Stay tuned for it. Just like and subscribe, comment, and I'll catch you in the next one. But until then, peace.